But I do thank them and the rest of the team. But Eric Liddell in 1924, and we know the story that he refused to run on Sunday. He refused to run on Sunday because he regarded that as the Sabbath, the Lord's Day, and he would not run in the heats, which were on a Sunday. And 100 meters was his best event. But also there was another race, I can't remember which one it was, but that heat was on a Sunday, and he said, no, I'm not going to do it. So, as we know, he ran the 400, which he was equally good at, and won that. And he held the world record, actually, for the 100 for about 35 years. He also got a bronze medal in, was it the 200? Which were not his primary events. But he ran. He would not compromise his faith. And he ran. And he did well, and we know the story. That was 1924. There's so much more to this man than that film portrays, and I hope, time permitting, that some of you will do your studies and just read about why we know that music and why we enjoy the film, but what he did and his background and his history, his parents. But in 1924, he stood up for what was important, and he ran the race. He would not give in. Obstacles were put in his way, but he said, no, this will not defeat me. And before one of the races, somebody gave him a little slip of paper, and it had a scripture on it. And that scripture was, I'll just quote it for you, was 1 Samuel 2:30. And just breaking into the context, but it said, those who honor me, I will honor. And there's some more to it, but that was basically what he got on his note. And I want to encourage each of us to run our race with honor. And ask God to help us. Show respect for the other runners and do your best in the race. He will pick you up. We're all in it for the long haul. We're all in it for the prize that He will give everyone who finishes. And as I said before, we are all going to finish. In 1991, a plaque was erected to him on the Isle of Mull. And it's quoting one of my other favorite scriptures in Isaiah 40:31. We know this one as well. It says, Isaiah 40:31, it says, they shall mount up with the wings of eagles. They shall run and not be weary. And we've got to remember those words as we endure our race, as we run. And sometimes when we get tired and our energy is depleted and we've stumbled and fallen, that we have to get up. So again, whether it's at home, in your studies, at work, here at the festival, wherever we are, let's keep going and not give up. You're going to get quite a brief sermon today. I'm not going for a marathon. I'm getting better. But I just want to read again, I suppose, no harm in doing that, from Hebrews, our theme scripture. Then I will play the last clip after I've done that. Because we read in Hebrews 12, it says, therefore, and again, remember the pictures of all the crowd just applauding. And just think, that's you in the race. And everybody is applauding you and is there to support you and giving you that boost that you need. And it says, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a greater cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Let's run our own race. You know, Eric Liddell had his own style of running, and it was unique to him, and people laughed at it and made fun of it, but he beat them. So run your own race. You can't run anybody else's. It says, but, and again, remember the imagery of the woman. She just kept, all she could see was the finish line. And that's what we've got to keep looking to. And our finish line, it says in verse 2, it says, let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning the shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. And again, we saw that she endured humiliation, falling on her face. That one woman staggering and stumbled, but they kept going because they knew when they crossed that line, joy, ecstasy, I've done it. And everybody could celebrate with them. And that's what we want to be and want to do. And it says, consider him who endured such opposition from sinful men, so that you, we will not grow weary and lose heart. We're in a race. It can be difficult. It can be tough. But we're running for that celestial city. We're looking for that city whose builder and maker is God. And he says, keep going. And he's standing on the other side of the finish line, arms open to welcome us home. So we'll play the last clip. So keep running, enduring, run your own race with God's grace.